Hey, what's going on, missioners? Boom here. Okay, so in this video, because I was inspired this morning by the status I made about tauruses and how I heard from an Aquarius, or I heard from a Sag, two masculine signs, how they don't fuck with Taurus, and it was so funny because they don't know each other and they're not friends on Facebook, and they said like, "Yo, I don't fuck with Tauruses because they be too feminine for me." And clingy, and I can't lie to you and say I have not experienced this, because as a cuss myself, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like I haven't gone through this, because as a cuss, I've learned that I'm a 0 degrees Taurus, so like I'm just in a Taurus body, and I have a Taurus, and I can be Taurus minded, Capricorn minded as well, but Mercury in Taurus is different than Sun in Taurus or Moon in Taurus. I have Moon in Capricorn in the 6th house, but like I have smidgets of Taurus in me, and like Taurus doesn't make up a huge part of my chart, and for me, I've learned that like the three reasons why I put on Facebook. There's 3 reasons why you should. The only time you don't fuck with Taurus, when they're not well read, they're not sorry, I'm so listening to something. They're not well read. They're not well read. They're not really successful. Like they have actual results. Man, this nigga looking nice and laid down though. And they're not well read, well traveled, or they're not well read, well traveled, and really successful. Actually, successful because of they have real results. Like for instance, what came to mind, Spirit just told me, Tauruses can be slaves to their empathy because they're not well experienced and well read. So what that means is Taurus I think is probably the most empathic outside of Virgo of the earth signs. I think it'll be I would say Virgo, Taurus, then it's the battle. It's like a battle. I think the most empathic would be Taurus, Virgo, then Capricorn, because I think Virgo is ruled by no, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. I'd be thinking that because Virgo's ruled by Mercury. That's why I think they're a little bit more mental than they are empathic. When they're not when a Virgo's not in tune with their body, they can be more mental than they are empathetic, which is going to be more psychological. So I had to understand with the Taurus can be a slave to their empathy, because they're not well read. They don't understand Scorpio, their opposite, which is human nature. They can be bullheaded and bull-minded about shit that's dumb as fuck. That if you actually, and I've done this before, if you actually have results, they won't impress you. It's like they like to impress you with the nice fancy things and a Venus, which is cool, but when you get past that, that's like, so a lot of times what I hate about Taurus is that they cannot have any depth, and they can make stuff so like tangible that nothing else matters. And being a Mars child, for the most part, that doesn't move me, because when I get really planted, and like, for instance, this is one Taurus that comes to mind, like when I really listen to him, yo, he a bunch of fugazi, like he a fraud, and it really bothers me because he be putting up the front like he real. And the one thing about me is that if you met me in person, I am who I am on and off camera. And you could tell material things are gonna make him worse. And again, when they're not well read, they're ignorant about mad dumb shit. They take on the identity of Capricorn, or they take the sheds of Capricorn, and they're traditional as fuck. They're traditional about everything. How they think about money, how they feel about money, how they feel about sex, how they feel about emotions, how they feel about marriage. It's easy for them to be really, really traditional. Because one reason, tradition makes them comfortable. When they're not well traveled, they're not as empathetic, because they don't understand the world around them. And sometimes well traveled doesn't mean you have to be have a passport in every country. It just means that you met enough people where you know psychology and human nature. And when they don't actually have like results for their success, especially when it's in a certain area, reason I don't fuck with them, because they can be overly stubborn about shit that don't make no goddamn sense. And just claim it to be something, and it's not that way. Like my dad used to claim these things about network marketing, which were not true. Because if I would have stayed in network marketing made me who I am. And I just wish I found something that I would have stuck to, for real. Because that would have been great residual income. Like if I would have mastered, the only reason why I don't fuck with network marketing because I don't own it. But if I found a network marketing that was, you know what I wish I would have did in network marketing? I wish I would have found something that was high ticket, and I would have sold that motherfucker. And I wish it was really integral with building a brand online. Bitch. Like if I would have joined like high ticket MLSP, and like I had a real mentor, or if I would have joined if I would have joined like Darren Little, when he do these high ticket network marketing things that's online. Do you know how fast? Do you know I would have made my first 100,000 online already? Because like that's that, boy. Sheesh. Because you know what I love about that? It will give you great experience, and you don't own it. And the power of not owning something is that it gives you the courage to own your own shit. So, like for instance, one of my clients wants to do lingerie, and I told her, go find a website that sells lingerie and be an affiliate of it. So when you're an affiliate of it and you don't own it, you know that you can buy it yourself and feel the texture, feel the you can feel the you can feel the you can feel the you can feel the authenticity. And when you don't feel that, when you don't know what that industry is like it's challenging. So network marketing is great if you're doing something actually worth your time. And more importantly, in the words of Eric Worre, you're actually like committed. And two, you actually have this is some gangster shit. You actually have a mentor. But you can see it in my facial structure that I'm Taurian. You can see it, and you can also see that I'm Leo. Like Mars, my face is more. That's why I keep my beard and my hair. Mars and Leo. So, but the 3 reasons I don't fuck with Taurus is they gotta be well read. They gotta be well read, well traveled, and actually have results about success. So if I talk to them, we can talk about practical things that we can apply in the physical today, and not just some manipulative, stubborn, quirky shit that gets on my last fucking nerves. That they low-key be having a hidden agenda about fucking with me, and like I can't stand that. It bothers the fuck out of me where they have this whole like hidden agenda with fucking with you. Like I've noticed that with the Tauruses I fucked with, they always had a hidden agenda, and it really fucking bothers me because I'm not that way. If I fuck with you for a reason, I fuck with you for a certain reason, and that's one of my like Aryan energy. Like if I fuck with you for a certain reason, I fuck with you for a certain reason, and most likely you know why I fuck with you. There's nothing hidden over here about shit. It is what it is. And like Tauruses, they like to make like shit all glossy and shit. And it bothers my fucking soul. Like I can't stand that dumb shit about when Tauruses try to make shit. Or like they're kind of like Libra, like make shit overly extravagant when it comes to like things that look good. They like try to make things look ideal and hypnotize you with the physical. And like when you get over that in like 2.5 seconds, it's like, okay, like what else are we doing? You know what I'm saying? When you're not, and this is gonna be one of the long drawn out videos. When I'm getting sick of Taurus's shit, I don't really fuck with them like that. But it's outside of what we can gain together. Like I don't like that's how you know I'm really on the Aries side. After a certain period of time, Tauruses aggravate me. I ain't gonna hold you. After a certain while, I don't like being around Tauruses. We can have a good time, like we can laugh and kiki and haha. But again, unless they're those 3 things, well read, well traveled, and they actually have practical results about their success, where we don't have to agree with each other all the time, but they're able to mesh the two. Like, that's the thing about how my brain is wired. I be learning how to connect things, whether I agree with you or not. Unless you be saying some fuck shit. And if you saying some fuck shit, then I don't be fucking with that. But if you saying something that I can be like, you know what? I don't have to agree with that, but I understand where you coming from. A lot of the times with Taurus, if they don't agree with you, they don't fuck with you. Yeah, I agree. And a lot of times when you sit with that shit, sometimes you be like, yo, what the fuck was they really talking about? Like, what? Like, where they do that at? And like my mother did that. And if I would have reciprocate her energy, like she did that on one of my social medias, and she's a Taurus, I had to block her because she said some wild shit on my social media that if I would have responded, I would have got so in her ass that it would have been disgusting. And I didn't want to reciprocate, so I just blocked her. And a lot of the shit that she was talking about was really shallow. A lot of the shit that she was talking about was really pettily shallow, and it was just like to get a point out. And and the crazy part about it, Tauruses are not ready to go to war with the god of war, Aries. Where it's like, yo, when I start getting my bullets out, I'm like, my nigga, don't fuck with me. Like, don't get it fucked up. And they only claim things that they can own. They don't really get psychological. They don't get emotional. They don't get any of that. They get real petty about what they did for you. And they're like, I can't fuck with it, because after a while, I start getting, like, especially when I start getting really stubborn and I start standing on my square, and I'm like, no, my nigga, you're not gonna move me. You're not gonna move me with your fuck shit. We not doing that. Cause that's how you get a Taurus real upset. You don't just bend because they said so. Yeah, we not doing that. But no, absolutely not. Nah, fuck that. And I used to get my Taurus parents so upset because I wouldn't just bend to what they said anytime they said it. Especially when I started to think about it, and when the spirit just slapped me in the head, like, nigga, what? What are you talking about? Where you do that at? Because by the time I didn't know when I was in my parents' house that I had clairvoyance. So every time I was lied to, the spirit come to me like, yo, what? No, that's not true. What you need to do is stop taking all that energy. And then I start to psychologically analyze it, like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, that's not me, my nigga, that's you. You know what I'm saying? So, cause they rule the throat chakra, or the throat. So they know how to project. They know how to manipulate with words, kind of like a Gemini, in some respect. They know how to make shit sound good. Like, if you're not a profound psychic listener, like, you would get so caught up on what they say, how they articulate. Like, my Mercury's in Taurus, so I know how to articulate things well. So, and that's the shit that be having you fucked up. I'm making it sound so poetic and so good, but like, if you really get to the nitty gritty from a psychological result standpoint, like, I either will be two things: be on the Taurus shit where I'm real aggravated about it, or I just come out, be honest, and say I don't have that, and be transparent as fuck, and be like, I don't got that. I'm working on it. You know? So, for me, the Taurus is like, the Taurus can be just be stubborn about dumb shit. And, but yeah, the Aries moon, yeah, they can't fuck with them for too long either. Because after a while, because that Mars energy, when you sit with it, it's like, yo, It makes you psychological. So when you sit with your flame, you be like, yo, what are you talking about for real? Like, especially when you start to get mentored and read and be wise, you like, all right, my nigga, you gotta go. So yeah, the 3 reasons why I don't fuck with tourists is they gotta be well read, well traveled, and I'm thinking it's and. I don't want to say and or, like individual. Well read, well traveled, and actually have results about success. And I was even saying 4, know human psychology. If the tourist doesn't understand human psych, well, that's in there. Because when you're well traveled, when you're well read, you know psychology. If you don't know psychology, if the tourists know psychology, they're so bullheaded about dumb shit. You almost gotta let them go.